This early morning, let's explore the fifth of Padampa Sangye's 100 Verses of Advice. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi. This is the Lama you are looking for. This morning, we could chant and meditate and enjoy a lesson or two. But first, if you love Star Wars and you wish to meditate as transformatively as Obi-Wan Kenobi upon the toasty sands of Tatooine, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. If at any point during this morning's live stream you have a question about meditation or philosophy or even chanting, there's no need to be bashful. Simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. Families are as fleeting as a crowd on market day. People of Tingri do not bicker or fight. Giving ourselves permission to feel the full spectrum of human emotions, we can use our passions to constructively fuel our contemplations and meditations. What I'd like to do now is answer a question off of Reddit. No Highlights asks, what do you do on days that your mind is extra chatty and you cannot relax to save your life? That's an excellent question. Sadly, there is more bad advice about meditation floating out there than there is good. And one of those pieces of bad advice says that when you meditate, you're supposed to still your mind. You're supposed to actively calm your mind. But that's a mistake. Lao Tzu, many centuries ago, taught us that there are two paths, path of yang and the path of yin, and only one leads to enlightenment. So there's the path of rigidity and the path of flexibility, the path of being controlling, and the path of being laid back. It's only the path of being flexible and laid back that leads to the enlightenment and the peace and the fulfillment that we all desire. The advice that we're supposed to choose what we feel and change what we feel, that comes from the path of being rigid and controlling. That comes from the path of yang. So what we're supposed to do is be flexible and laid back towards whatever we're experiencing. But wait, there's more. If you've had the good fortune to live with a dog or live with a cat, you notice that often, as carnivores, they will sleep for hours, often in a sunny spot on the carpet. But when they wake up, after they stretch and yawn and survey their domain, they're apt to have the zoomies and tear ass around your abode, knocking shit off the etage. Our mind's the same way. It's not our job to wake a sleeping dog or sedate a dog with the zoomies, but meet its needs as they are expressed. Same thing with our mind. When our mind is sedate, meditation is perfect. When our mind is energetic and creative, that's the ideal time for contemplation. The Buddha taught an eightfold path. The first two folds of the eightfold path pertain to contemplations on the topic of letting go, and contemplations on the topic of love. Love and letting go are the ideal topics of contemplation. It isn't until we get to the 7th and 8th folds of the Eightfold Path that we explore mindfulness and meditation. So if someone tells you meditation is all the Buddha taught, they're not necessarily lying. They may be sincere, but they are not correct. So if you have a good teacher or you're working with a good system, it will have some techniques that are contemplative and some techniques that are meditative. In just a few minutes, we're going to start this morning's practice text, which is available for free download, or at least it should be available for free download, just by using the links in the description area below the video. But you'll find, and I'll point it out during this morning's practice, when we get to exercises which are contemplations and which are meditations, because they're quite different. So a good question would be, when I have a scheduled time to park it on my meditation cushion, what do I do when my mind is not sedate, when my mind is creative and energetic? Contemplate. What should we do when our mind is sedate? Meditate. Now, of course, I'm a nerd and I'm a geek, and I can't say the word sedate without thinking about the Ramones. And on that happy note, I'm now going to subject you to an entire minute of housekeeping. Every 12 hours, I broadcast 1 or 2 meditation classes without any ads other than this. With your help, this channel could help to support the next generation of nuns, monks, yogis, lamas, and even brick-and-mortar meditation centers, each replete with a resident teacher and their apprentice. If this sounds like a good idea to you and you'd like to help out even for as little as the cost of 1 cup of coffee a month, just use your smartphone's camera to capture this QR code, or simply click one of the donation links in the description area below the video. We're going to begin with mantra meditation, which really should be a type of contemplation. So let's begin by reviewing the meaning of the 6-syllable mantra, the most famous mantra associated with Tibet. Together. Om, I invoke the wish-fulfilling Mani, jewel of love, and the purifying Pemi lotus of letting go. Supplicating with whom may love and letting go be mastered by all. My voice sounds weird. It's not the microphone, it's my actual voice. Ah, the wonders of postnasal drip. So we come to our opening contemplation. Right view and right aspiration could serve as antidotes to confusion and are known by many names, such as Ngondro, Vipassana, and contemplation. Vipassana is Sanskrit. The Pali equivalent is Vipassana. I think I'll write that down too, so there'll be less confusion. There we go. Let's make sure the display is still synchronized. Fabulous. Let's begin with our outer Ngondro. Let us use the format of a rhetorical question to contemplate how could hating feel stressful. So as we breathe in, we want to silently and mentally recite either an intention or a rhetorical question. And as we chant the mantra, we want to physically relax as best we can, even if it feels impossible. You see, my friends, every time we breathe out, we automatically access our parasympathetic nervous system, which is already wired to physically relax and mentally release at least a little bit. And so by aligning our intention with our factory installed programming, we experience greater peace, regardless of what physiological state we might find ourselves in. If you've just joined me, welcome. When you have questions about meditation, philosophy, or chanting, type them in the chat window. Umane me me umane me me umane me me umane pe me hung. And during our next in-breath, let us contemplate how could craving feel stressful. Umane me me umane me me umane me me umane pe me hung. And now let us contemplate how could competing feel stressful. Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. And now let us contemplate how could clinging feel stressful. Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. Welcome to the live stream. When you have any questions about meditation, philosophy, or chanting, type them in great detail in the chat window. Let us now contemplate the compassionate intention with the sentence, all being stress, may I soothe. Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. Let us contemplate impermanence through the cunning use of the rhetorical question. Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. Let us contemplate letting go with the rhetorical question, how could this not be me? Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. We turn our attention to the inner ngondro. Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. Omane me me omane me me omane me me omane pe me hung. Omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung. Whew, excuse me. Omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung. We turn our attention now to bliss and letting go, which could serve as an antidote to craving and are known by many names, such as completion stage, Anu Yoga, Bindu Mahamudra, and Tikle Dzogchen. Omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung. Omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung. We now turn our attention to love and letting go, which could serve as the antidotes to hating and are known by many names, such as generation stage, creation stage, mantra yoga, mahayoga, tantra mahamudra, and tokal dzogchen. Let's begin by contemplating love, that it might help us to leapfrog over our competitive tendencies. May all minds of all beings now be as peaceful and wise as our Buddha's mind, symbolized by a one-syllable mantra known as a Siro Bisha mantra. Omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung. May all relationships of all beings now be as joyful and loving as a Buddha's communication symbolized by the six-syllable mantra. Omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung. May all bodies of all beings now enjoy the beautiful health depicted in Buddhist thought of the blissful body of a yidam of law and archetype of enlightenment. Omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung. May all circumstances of all beings now be as safe and fortunate as a Buddha's paradise, pure land or vati of law. Omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung. Let's shift gears from love to letting go, that we might better leapfrog over our clinging tendencies. How is it that as we inhale, our mind's function could seem quite clear? Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable as a cloudless sky or a bija of light. Omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung omani me me ung. How is is it that as we inhale, the interpersonal experience of communication could be quite resounding? Yet as we relax into our exhalation, it could feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void or a mantra of light. Omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani be me ung, omani be me ung. Welcome to the live stream. When you have questions about meditation, philosophy, or even chanting, type them in great detail in the chat window. How is it that as we inhale, our bodies could feel quite sensual? Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable as a cloudless sky or a yedam of light. Omani me me ung, omani be me ung, omani me me ung, omani be me ung. How is it that as we inhale, our circumstances could appear quite vivid? Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void or a vati of light. Omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani pe me ung. Let's switch gears and contemplate the non-graspable nature of our subtle mind. Omani me me ung, omani be me ung, omani me me ung, omani pe me ung. Omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung. Omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung. Omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung. Omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung. Let's contemplate the 5 aggregates. Omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung. Omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung. Omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung. Omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung. Omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung. Let us now contemplate the 5 mental poisons. Omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung. Omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung. Omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung, omani me me ung. Om mani me me 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 Let us contemplate the coarse mind. Om mani me me 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 Having completed our mantra contemplations, we now turn towards silent contemplations, 4 in particular. We're going to bring the 4 bases of mindfulness into the dance of impermanence and interdependence. We're going to begin with circumstance, and we're going to use the verb melt as a metaphor of impermanence to help us to leapfrog over our clinging tendencies. And we're going to use the inference of absorption as a metaphor of interdependence to help us to leapfrog over our competitive tendencies. During the in-breath, we're going to mentally recite how lots melt. And during the exhalation, we're going to mentally recite the second half of the rhetorical question into form. We're going to switch gears from the circumstantial to the physical. So it's not our job to visualize or emote. If all we do is silently and mentally recite these words, in harmony with our inhalation and our exhalation and our relaxation, we will make progress on the path. Let us switch gears from the physical to the interpersonal. For its bedrock is communication, both verbal and nonverbal. And at last, let us shift gears from the interpersonal to the mental. Now, I must tend to something just for a couple minutes before we start this morning's silent meditation. I will be right back. Oops, wrong button. Awareness and letting go, which could serve as antidotes to clinging, while also slicing through the fundamental duality of dread and desire, are known by many names, such as Zen, Chan, Jhana, Great Completion Stage, Mahasandhi, Ati Yoga, Sutra Mahamudra, and Treksho Dzogchen. And the great irony is, despite the grandiosity of these names, the exercise is ridiculously easy. As we practice the essence of mindfulness by mentally reciting "Notice this" during each inhalation. We practice the essence of meditation by mentally reciting "Relaxing" during each exhalation. Why is that? Every time we breathe in, we are wired to access our sympathetic nervous system, which is wired to perceive vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. We could notice the external and the internal, the physical and the mental, the pleasurable and the painful, the interesting and the boring, the glorious and the grotesque. But when our noticing is indeed vulnerable, passive, visceral, and random, then we find the only label we need ever use is simply the pronoun this, at least during meditation. But what are we to do with all the stuff that we notice? We are wired in such a way that every exhalation automatically accesses our parasympathetic nervous system, which is wired for both physical relaxation as well as mental release. So the great irony is that we're not supposed to fight our body and brain to meditate. What we're supposed to be doing is harmonizing our volition, our will, our intention with the factory installed instructions or programming latent within our autonomic nervous system. Let's see. It is 32 minutes after the hour. Let's meditate. So sit nice and tall in a stable posture. When you experience joint pain, don't be shy to make subtle adjustments. Feel free to make subtle adjustments to your posture. Listen to your body. Pain is real. It's an evolutionary response to help us prevent injury. Far too many hardcore meditators have ignored pain and wound up with serious injuries, ruining their bodies. So listen to your body. welcome to the live stream. When you have questions about meditation or philosophy, type them in the chat window. Notice on the bottom right-hand side of the screen, we read, first collection of 16 sets of 16 rounds. So I'm going to show you briefly how to perform crease counting, for it really helps to manage our subtle energy. Upon each finger, there are 3 sets of creases, beginning with the index finger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's how we count 16 repetitions on our left hand. On our right hand, we also can count to 16. In our right hand, we count sets of 16. And 16 sets of 16 reps is typically about 30 minutes, give or take. Do that twice and you've got an hour. So I found that counting inward, with our hands or palms up in your lap, counting inward from the index finger to the little finger helps to coalesce the subtle energies in a way most conducive to meditation. Now, give yourself permission to have a learning curve. The first time you do it, it will feel weird and ungainly. You do it twice a day for a week or so, and it'll feel like old hat. Welcome to the live stream. When you have questions about meditation or philosophy, type them in great detail in the chat window. Let's switch gears from silent meditation to the silent contemplation of love. Let us begin by wishing great peace for all minds. And great joy for each being's experience of the interpersonal. Let us wish profound health for all forms. Let us wish good fortune for all circumstances. Let us conclude with four chants of universal love. May I, like Kange's master, the Eightfold Path as well as liberate others. May all beings practice of kind communication, conduct, and calmness flow spontaneous and uncontrived. May each being take auspicious rebirth, master the Buddha's path, and then help all others do likewise. May everyone be free from stress, may everyone be happy, may no one be separated from the happiness, may everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging freed. If you feel I have earned it, type something in the chat window, give this live stream a thumbs up, and share it on social media. In 2 3/4 hours, I would very much like to return for Wednesday's mid-morning meditation. Until then, may you and yours be happy and healthy. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.